Good evening and welcome, baseball fans. Welcome to the 2031 Perfect League World Series coverage. I am your host, DRC, and it is my distinct honor and privilege to provide you the play-by-play, the color commentary, and supporting data analysis tonight as we collectively crown the first Perfect League champion of the PT22 game cycle. There will be many that follow over the course of this game cycle, but tonight is the first. From game launch 3 short months ago until now, everything has built up to this moment. We have been forming the perfect team ladder, which you see on your screen now. We have been graduating teams on a weekly basis. We've been building the diamond leagues necessary to launch a perfect league. And then this week, we finally launched a 24-team perfect league. And now tonight, we get to see who gets to say they were the first perfect league champion of PT22. And it's either going to be the San Antonio Macarenas or the Observatory Park Otters. So quick round of applause for both of them for making it to this point. And I wish them both the best of luck as they battle one another to see who comes out on top tonight. Now, if you're joining this stream and wondering, A, why we're on early, and B, why we're not looking at reams and reams and reams of Perfect League data, allow me to fill you in. So this really is the intended stream that our past streams built upon. We were looking at reams and reams of Perfect League data because we wanted to, from an informed perspective, understand how to build our teams so that we could be on this stage. And the Macarenas and the Park Otters have clearly done so. So the stream that you're used to on Sunday nights, Practice Makes Perfect League, that really was the build-up to this, the Perfect League World Series. It's a different type of stream. We follow each sim. We follow the decisions made by the managers. We look at the teams. We look at the statistics. And then in-game, we are looking at individual matchups as well. Now, with regards to the time that we're on tonight, given that we have a short Perfect League, so it's just 24 teams as opposed to the usual 40, playoffs didn't take nearly as long. Normally, we have 4 full rounds of best of 7 playing out, and today we had a wild card round feeding into a best of 5 division series, feeding into a best of 7 semis, and then now here the best of 7 Perfect League World Series. So it's quicker today than it will be. I'm not sure what next week's Perfect League looks like. I think we have 8 teams staying in Perfect. We should have 24 Diamond champions rising, unless we have more Diamond leagues than that. Someone can check me on that. But I imagine that next week could be different. But here we are, 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern, getting a start here. But on a weekly basis, our start time will not be fixed. We will be starting whenever we have a matchup. And sometimes every round needs to go 7 games. Sometimes some rounds don't. And specifically, if our semis go short, then we'll be on a little earlier. So the best way to know when to sign on, when to get yourself lined up for the drops, when to get yourself lined up to watch the simulation play out, just keep your eye on the Perfect League channel in the Discord over the course of the day, and then you'll typically be able to follow the progress of the series. All right. So, allow me to introduce the relegation Puma. So, there's a saying that Father Time is undefeated, and the relegation Puma is also undefeated. There was not a single team last year that made it to Perfect League that never had to face down the relegation Puma and find themselves a Puma snack on the way back down to Diamond. And so in honor of these folks who are traversing back from Perfect to Diamond, we recognize them at the bottom of our screen. A lot of great teams down there. Many of them will come right back up and have a chance to face the relegation Puma and come out ahead. But for this week, at least, they are heading on back down. And one thing that's different this week than the typical Perfect League week, the typical Perfect League week sees every playoff team spared from the relegation Puma. That is not the case this week. There are 16 teams going down, 16 of 24. So doing the quick math, that tells you 8 teams are moving on, and playoff performance is the number one tiebreaker to determine that. So only those that survived the wild card round are remaining in Perfect next week. So that means that the Las Vegas White Tigers, despite their playoff appearance, are headed back to Diamond. That means the Susquehanna Sonics, despite their playoff appearance, are heading back to Diamond as well. So I think we've got all the pleasantries out of the way. It is time to analyze the teams that we have featured here tonight. We will start with the Observatory Park Otters. So the way that I like to break down these teams is look at some key metrics. And we're not going to do a perfect job of understanding every nuance of a given team, but there are some key metrics that can give us a pretty good clue as to how a team is built, as to how a team has performed, and as to what we can expect here in the Perfect League World Series. And the first metric that I like to look at, it's really 2 metrics. I look at runs scored, and I look at runs allowed. So simply put, how well does this team score runs, and how well do they prevent runs from being scored? Pretty elementary, pretty basic, but you'd be surprised how well that gives you a sense of how a team is built and how a team has earned the number of victories that they have. And we see with the Observatory Park Otters here, they are 3rd in the conference in runs scoring with 732. They are 2nd in the conference with runs allowed, 677. So one of the better teams, again, 12-team conferences here, so towards the top end of the pile on both metrics there for a run differential over the course of the season of what's 23 plus 32. So you got 55, a plus 55 run differential there for the Park Otters, a team that's been in the mix all season long. Now, the next thing I like to look at is to understand how strong a performance the defense is. How important is defense to how they are doing their run prevention? And with the Park Otters here, you see a strong defense as well. So 2nd in the conference in defensive efficiency, 2nd in the conference in zone rating despite it being negative. So a team that is preventing runs and also doing a good job of picking up the ball behind the pitchers. Now the next thing I like to look at is the home-road split. Oftentimes you can detect a team that has a pretty wild ballpark or pretty wild strategy splits based on how they're performing at home when they can set the scenery, set the lineup, set the matchups exactly as they want versus the road where they have to play to someone else's ballpark and someone else's situation. And here we see the Observatory Park Otters have a 51-30 record at home, good for 63% win percentage, very strong. And on the road, more or less break even. 39-42, 3 games under 500, good for a 481 win percentage there. And then I like to look at the calendar. So how did the calendar come together for this team? It was a treading water April, followed by a white-hot nuclear May, featuring 20 wins. Very high there in May. And then come June, they almost washed it all away. A 9-17 June had the Observatory Park Otters right around the 500 mark at the All-Star break. But then they turned it on again. July strong, August strong, September strong to earn their way into the playoffs. Now let's look at the ballpark. So the ballpark here is interesting in that it is completely neutral until you get to the final category. So we see averages untouched, we see doubles and triples are untouched, and we see homers for lefties are untouched, but righties get ever so slightly a little boost here to 1.05. So what players are part of this build? So when I look at the players themselves, I'm not looking to recite off every decision that the manager has made. I'm looking to see what decisions they've made in the positions that have some nuance to them, in the positions that have some doubt as to who the meta choice is, and then I'll typically call those out as part of this preview. And so with the Observatory Park Otters here, we see Brooks Robinson at third over someone like an Adrian Beltre or a Ken Caminiti, so going more defensive there. We see at shortstop, we've got a Dave Bancroft here instead of, say, an Andrelton Simmons or other options that we see at shortstop, Willie Wells, Pop Lloyd. From a pitching perspective, there's not a ton of nuance in the meta right now with regards to going with righties, going with lefties, because righties really are carrying the day outside of Tom Glavine. But as far as the Observatory Park Otters, we have your 4 core starters here: Cy Young, Tim Hudson, Adam Wainwright, Smokey Joe Wood. And then the 5th spot was occupied at different times by Tom Glavine and Mike Mussina. Now, both of them find themselves in the bullpen, so Glavine represents the only lefty on the team, which is not odd given the current meta. Other lefties you might see in bullpens are McDowell or Aroldis Chapman, but here for the Otters, it's just Glavine. Now let's look at the path. How did the Otters get to this point? So the Otters had a bye through the wild card round, didn't have to play there, and then Buck Cheeks met them in the wild card round. They were able to sweep 3-0 over Buck Cheeks, Ben Salem Man-Witches. And then in the semis, the sub-league series, able to take the Murray Punishers out in a 5-game set. So the Observatory Park Otters here have only played one more game than the minimum. Sweep in the first round, near sweep in the second, untested, but very rested here as we enter the Perfect League World Series. So let's look at the history here. So we don't have a very long history. These pages get more nuanced as we get deeper into the game cycle and we're able to see the trials and tribulations of a team that has gone up, down, and around as they get their way to this stage. But the couple things that you can glean, from this page here is that the Observatory Park Otters, they were a launch team. So they did launch their team on opening weekend for the game, and they did so and leaped immediately to iron. So their placement team, their entry pool team did well enough where they got to skip the 2 lowest levels. They go to iron, and since then they have promoted at the fastest pace possible. So immediately to bronze, immediately to silver, immediate to gold, immediate to diamond, and then this being the first Perfect League week, immediately to Perfect League. And now with the opportunity to effectively speed run PT22 and be the first to each level, as well as being the first Perfect League champion. Apparently I spit a rhyme and don't even recognize it. I don't know what it was, but hopefully someone clipped it so I can listen to it later. So that is your Observatory Park Otters. We've got 5 minutes left here before the sim for Game 1 comes in. Let's try to do as good a job as we can checking out the San Antonio Macarenas as we give them the same equal treatment to the Otters. So running through the exact same stuff. So 7th in run scoring, 4th in runs allowed. So we're talking about a slightly below average team from a run scoring perspective in the conference, and then a slightly above average team from a runs allowed perspective. We see that the run differential is very much similar to the Otters, but when compared to the context of the overall conference, the Macarenas not appearing as well. And then as we look at defense, actually the worst defensive efficiency in the conference. There are 12 teams in the conference, and they come in dead last, 12th in defense here. Their zone rating is a bit better, and that has something to do with their ballpark choice, which we'll check out here in just a minute. Home road, we're talking about a 580 team at home, 506 on the road. So breaking even in terms of being over 500 on the road, hard thing to do in perfect. The Macarenas do it here by 1 game. And then as we look at the calendar, we have a pretty even performance. April's good, May's good, June's dominant, July's fine, August good, and then what in the world happened in September? The Macarenas were sitting very pretty in the playoff hunt, and then had themselves a 7-19 September, a 2-3 October, but able to squeeze into the playoffs. Here's our Macarenas here. And as we look at the wild card race, we see they were the last team in. And even despite their very rough September, able to get into the playoffs without much drama. Without much drama. All right, so let's talk about the ballpark. So the Macarenas are employing a max BABIP ballpark. So what in the world does that mean? So you are able to alter your ballpark, alter how your ballpark plays in PT22, similar to PT21. And the choice that Uncle Harris and his Macarenas have made here is to max out the batting average for both lefties and righties, while keeping the rest of the factors neutral. So this is a contributing factor to their rough defensive metrics, at least on the defensive efficiency side, as more balls in play are going to fall within this park than the standard park. Let's talk players. So we've got new Freddie Freeman in here, and we've got him hitting just above league average. This Freddie Freeman just dropped on Thursday. We've also got new Ken Caminiti. Caminiti didn't succeed nearly as well with the bat here, only 77 OPS plus, but small sample size, so can't say too much there. We've also got Chicken Wolf, so an elite defensive right fielder, one that maybe did not do as well through the most recent server-side update. But Chicken Wolf in here, slightly below average, or below league average bat here, but a great defensive performer. And then Bancroft at shortstop as well. So let's quickly jump over to pitching. On the pitching side, we've got Musina, was his 5th starter, now moved into the bullpen here. And then from a bullpen build perspective, we have your classic 2 setup men and a closer type build here. Now, one thing to call out is we had Tom Glavine in relief all year long, but Tom Glavine was very excellent in relief. Glavine logging 93 quality innings, averaging almost 2 innings per appearance as a long/middle reliever here, and doing so to the tune of a 2.2 ERA. All right, quickly, let's talk about the path. So the Macarenas did not have an easy route to get to this stage at all. They had to take on Super in the wild card round, did so. Lived to tell the tale. Then took on Pidge and his number 1 seeded Pigeon Town Pigeons. Took them down in 4, and then had to take on PT21 stalwart Nick and his Detroit Fury, member of the DLL in the semis, and able to survive that in 6. So the Macarenas very much battle tested here, have been through 3 rounds of worthy opponents, and now find themselves staring down the Park Otters. And then from a history perspective, Uncle Harris was also a launch team. How he deviates from the Otters is that it took him an extra season to get through gold. No shame in that, and now finds himself vying for a Perfect League World Series. All right, guys, so in the chat, who's going to win and in how many games? You got the Otters or you got the Macarenas? And in how many games are they going to do it? And while you guys are populating the chat there, I will prepare to get our first sim ready to go. We got Fred the Baker taking the Otters in 7. Pardon me pushing the controls over here. Otters in 7, Lightning in 7. Not sure what that means. Otters in 6, Hips Don't Lie. All right. Otters in 5, Otters in 6. Macarenas in 7. Otters sweep. Ooh, boy. The first sim is in. Guys, this is going to be a wild journey here in PT22. We are going to watch a lot of World Series unfold together. And tonight is our first one. And this is our first sim that we get to watch with one another as my BABIP warning or my BABIP signal goes off without warning there. That'll happen sometimes. But let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Let's have some fun. And let's see who's going to come out tonight as a Perfect League champion. I can't believe we're here, guys. It's been a long wait from the last Perfect League World Series we did to this one. But let's get it underway right here and right now. So we've got the Observatory Park Otters in the field. There's Cy Young on the mound facing the Macarena's Jackie Robinson. And that's how we'll get started here tonight. That's how we get started here tonight. 3-1 count on Jackie. Wind and the pitch, and that's ball 4. Not how you want to start off a World Series. But Jackie Robinson will take the leadoff walk, and now he's worked his way around to third base. There's one away in the inning. We've got Jackie at third, 1 out, and then new Freddie Freeman at the plate. I think it's time. I think it's time to use the little toy that you see in the bottom right corner of your screen. We call it the Matchup Analyzer, and what this does is it tells us what to expect in a given situation. So I'm going to go ahead and load up Freddie Freeman versus right-hand pitching. I'm also going to load up Cy Young. Cy Young versus left-handed batters. And so as we look at those two observed performances there, we see that Cy Young has a 4 ERA versus lefties. We see that Freddie Freeman rocking a slightly below league average bat in small sample versus right-hand pitching. And that's going to set the stage here. I'd give the advantage slightly to Cy Young here. 0-2 count. The pitch. Fly ball, right field. That ball's going to get down. Going all the way to the wall. Freddie Freeman on his way to second. And he has untied this one here in the first, making it 1-0 Macarenas. The hometown Otters fans do not love that. But now they get a chance to answer right back. We're in the bottom of the first. Their Tim Raines has made himself to second base, likely via a leadoff double. And now they're Jackie Robinson, but it's not any Jackie Robinson. This is Fire Jackie. And look at the haunting Adam Wainwright photo in the bottom left corner of your screen. We might need to turn off player images if that's going to be what's looking at me the entire broadcast here. But Jackie Robinson, a chance to answer right back here for the Otters. Full count. The pitch. That ball hit well. Deep center field. Gone! Jackie Robinson puts the Park Otters back in control. A 2-run home run here in the bottom of the first. 456 feet on that one. Adam Wainwright hung a changeup, and Jackie didn't miss. Jackie did not miss that one bit. We move to the third. Macarena's back at the plate. We've got Freddie Freeman right back up. We've got our matchup analyzer already preset for it. We've got Pete Rose on first, being held by Pete Rose. 1-0 count. Wide and the pitch. That ball hit well to right center field. That's going to get down. Rose around second, heading to third. He's not going to stop there. Yes, he will. Rose slams on the brakes with nobody out, not taking any risks here early in this ball game. But a ringing double off the bat of Freddie Freeman. And now Cy Young's got himself in a bit of trouble here in the third. Still top 3. Oscar Charleston goes down with an unproductive out. And now Chicken Wolf steps in. Chicken Wolf with the infield back, looking for any sort of contact here to tie this game up. Any kind of base hit could give them the lead. Wind and the pitch. Grounder to second base. Fielded by Jackie over to first in time. Chicken Wolf retired, but scoring on the play is Pete Rose. Make it 2-2 in this ballgame. We go bottom 4. Otters back at the plate. Wainwright on the mound, haunting Wainwright, bottom left. We've got Enos Slaughter on second base, one away, as Harry Heilman steps up. The pitch, and Heilman crushes that one into the left center field gap. That ball is down. Around third and scoring is Slaughter. Harry Heilman sliding into second base. A ringing double for him, an RBI double. And now the Park Otters back in front, 3-2. Top five now. Macarena's trying to answer back. They've got Pete Rose aboard to lead off this fifth inning. And Freddie Freeman for his third highlight of this game. Still facing Cy Young. 3-1 count. Infield shifted, the pitch, and that's ball 4. Cy Young pitch count mounting here, holding on to a precocious 1-run lead. And up comes Oscar Charleston. 0-2 count. The pitch.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Huge strikeout for Cy Young. Gets him on a low slider. Charleston expands the zone. Unable to lay off. And that's a big first out here for the Otters. Very next batter, Chicken Wolf. Let's go ahead and set up the matchup analyzer for this one. We'll go ahead and toggle Cy Young over to versus right. You see his numbers change ever so slightly there. And let's go find Chicken Wolf. We'll go Chicken Wolf versus right as well. We see that Chicken Wolf is right near a league average bat. Versus right-hand pitching, a triple slash line of 278, 326, 399. Slugging being the weak point, average being the high point within that profile. 0-2 count. The pitch.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cy Young now back-to-back strikeouts as he's working his way through this jam here in the fifth. Finds himself 1 out away from getting out of the jam entirely with no damage. And up steps Tim Raines. Cy Young's got a 1-1 count on him. The pitch. Grounded to first. Fielded by Pete Rose. Takes it to the bag himself. And that will do it for the Macarenas here in the fifth. 2 hits, no runs, and nothing doing here in the fifth. We'll move on with the Park Otters still leading 3-2. We go top 6, so Macarena's turn back up on the highlight machine. We've got Tim McCarver aboard with 1 away. Bancroft at the plate, 3-0 count, the pitch. That's a 4-pitch walk. You really have to wonder how much more rope the Park Otters Cy Young is going to be given in this one. This is now the second consecutive inning that he's dug himself a little hole, and he's doing so here in the 6th, the bottom of the lineup. So up comes Jackie Robinson with Pete Rose and Freddie Freeman bearing down on him. We'll eagerly watch to see what the Park Otters coach decides to do in this spot. He's going to let him pitch to Jackie at a bare minimum. He's got Jackie with a full count here. And 1 away. The pitch.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cy Young, for the third time in the last couple innings, goes to the strikeout when he needs it most. This time on a very slow 67-mile-per-hour curveball. Not what Jackie was expecting in the slightest. And gets him swinging through it for the big second out of this inning here. We now move up to Pete Rose. Cy Young 1 strike away from getting out of this inning, and the fans are letting him know it. Park Otters fans on their feet trying to work his way through this jam and push this game to the bottom of the inning, still leading by 1. Pete Rose at the plate. The pitch.
Strike 3.
Strike 3 called. Cy Young's done it again. A huge strikeout. Strands another couple Macarenas runners here in the 6th. And the Park Otters continue to lead this one 3-2 as we head to the bottom. Nothing doing bottom 6, so we jump to the top of the 7th. Cy Young's day is over. It was a difficult 6 innings for him. Some high leverage moments, but Cy Young gets through 6, only allows 2 earned, and now gets to take a seat on the bench while Satchel Paige comes into this one to try to nudge it forward. We'll see how long he stays in this game. But his first task here on the highlight machine, at least, is Oscar Charleston, who's got a 2-1 count on him here in the 7th with 1 away. Paige winds and deals, and that ball's hit down into the right field corner. Charleston around first, heading to second. He'll get there without a throw. Slaughter hits the cutoff man, and we've got a man on second and 1 away. Next batter, Jim Edmonds, a pinch hitter. So Jim Edmonds, not someone you see all that frequently in high-level play. We see here in Perfect League this week, we only had 239 plate appearances of him. And those 239 plate appearances were that of a low-average, high OBP player producing a very strong BATR. So we'll see what Satchel Paige looks like versus left as he prepares for this very important matchup here in the 7th inning. So we see that versus left, Satchel Paige struggles a bit with the walks per 9, which really influenced that whip and pushed it north of 1.5. Well above league average. Jim Edmonds has himself with a 2-0 advantage in this count. The pitch. Grounder to second. Picked by Jackie over to first in time. Advancing to third on the play is Oscar Charleston, now 2 away. Up comes Tim Raines. Another big moment in this game. Last time in this spot, Tim Raines went down swinging. Definitely wants to come up with a different outcome here. 2 outs, man on third, tying run on third. Paige comes, sets, delivers, hit well to center. Moving over, making the grab is Oscar Charleston. And that will push us to our 7th inning stretch, with the Otters still leading 3-2. Listen to that organ, just belting this one. You gotta love that. Oh man, milk it. Milk every second of it. That's gotta be the Organist Super Bowl right there. Totally crushed it. Now we go top 8. So the Observatory Park Otters have been unable to add to the lead any of the last 4 innings. The highlight machine has just been going one Macarena's inning to the next. And now we start off this 8th inning with Ken Caminiti facing Joe Nathan, the 3rd pitcher out from the Park Otters team here today. 2-2 count. Wind and the pitch, and that's strike 3 called. Caminiti goes down looking. Joe Nathan able to throw a little 2-seam heater in the inside corner. Caminiti gave up on it and then watches himself get rung up there for the first out here in this 8th inning. Up next, Tim McCarver. 2-0 count on him. Wind and the pitch, and that ball's hit well. Deep right field. Going back is Slaughter. And he can't get it. It's over his fence. It's in between the fence and the bleachers there for a fence-scraping, game-tying home run for Tim McCarver. Joe Nathan, known for his low movement, known for his giving up the long ball at times, and he is bit by it here as this lead that has been so carefully crafted and so carefully maintained by Cy Young and Satchel Paige is now gone, and we have a brand new ball game. We go bottom 8, time for the Park Otters to answer, and their first man they'll send to the plate is Jackie Robinson, but not just any Jackie, it is Fire Jackie. 1-2 count on Jackie. Musina in the game now. There's a little looper center field. That's going to get down. So Fire Jackie starts off this bottom of the 8th with a leadoff single. Pete Rose, the next guy to the dish. Pete Rose, one of the very best hitters in this game. Let's go ahead and set this one up. Pete Rose versus right. And let's get Mike Mussina versus left. Advantage in the batter's box for sure here. We see Pete Rose rocking a 17 bat R, a 378 OBP versus right. A very dangerous spot here for the San Antonio Macarenas, Mike Mussina, as they are trying to keep this game tied. 2-2 count, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Mussina able to power a 94-mile-an-hour heater up in the zone, and Rose unable to catch up for it, perhaps looking for the knuckle curve. Did not come that time, and that is the first out in this inning. Jackie Robinson takes second via a stolen base, and up comes Enos Slaughter. The pitch, grounded to first, picked up by Freddie Freeman, brought to the bag, 2 away. Advancing to third on the play is Jackie, and also preventing any possibility of the double play was Jackie by stealing the base the pitch prior. So now we have an opportunity here. We have Jackie Robinson to third, 2 out, Oscar Charleston to the batter's box. Let's check out how Oscar did versus right-hand pitching this season. Big moment here in game 1. Here's Oscar Charleston versus right. We see a slightly above league average bat. Now the composition of his production is that of a low OBP slugger, 751 on the OPS. And the Park Otters really need him to come through with a hit here. The pitch. Grounded to first and through! Unable to field it is Freddie Freeman. Charleston will end up at second. They're going to give him a double on the play. And he has untied this game, giving the Park Otters a 4-3 advantage here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. Freddie Freeman ranged to his left, reached down, was unable to get it. And now the Otters find themselves on the cusp of stealing game 1 if their own Joe Nathan can get through this 9th inning. His first challenge of the inning is Pete Rose. We've seen Pete Rose twice on the highlight machine, once for each team, and he's struck out both times. Does this Pete Rose have something different in mind here against Joe Nathan? 1-2 count. Wind and the pitch, and that ball, fly ball center, playable. In comes Charleston, will make the grab, 1 away. One away now, Freddie Freeman to the dish. Freddie Freeman's 4th highlight of the game. What will he do with it? 2-2 count. Wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He tried to hold up. Third base umpire said he didn't. And a huge strikeout there for the Park Otters, as that now puts them 1 out away from stealing game 1 of this World Series. Fans to their feet as Charleston steps to the dish. Joe Nathan has missed with the first 3 ones, and will now have to work back from a 3-0 deficit. Charleston, a good base runner. You don't want him aboard, but that's exactly what will happen here. He takes his free pass as Joe Nathan wide with a 93-mile-an-hour heater there on the 4th pitch of the at-bat, which brings up Jim Edmonds. Jim Edmonds entered this game as a pinch hitter and will now be the most consequential batter within this game, at least for the time being. We'll go back to our Jim Edmonds matchup analyzer. We'll contextualize that against our Joe Nathan. Joe Nathan versus left, Jim Edmonds versus right. Based on our stats here, the numbers would tell you advantage Edmonds. Nathan, a little prone for the long ball. We've seen that based on the Macarena's copy of Joe Nathan already in this game. Does Jim Edmonds have a little drama in that bat? Fans on their feet. Park Otters 1 strike away from securing game 1. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Park Otters win. A tight game throughout, and the Otters come out victorious. Everyone will look back to the double that Freddie Freeman of the Macarenas could not field in the bottom of the 8th. as a pivotal moment within this game. But the Park Otters win, and they will carry a 1-0 series lead into game number 2. Let's look at the box score and see what happened. So, a pretty good pitcher's duel here. Now, look at the Observatory Park Otters Cy Young. Now, we saw a lot of this happening. We saw some of this wildness playing out on the highlight machine, but 7 walks from Cy Young. Cy Young, he of the 97 control rating, 7 walks, 11 base runners through 6, and able to dance between the raindrops and only allowed 2 runs. On the other side, we had Adam Wainwright, not walking a soul, but giving up 8 base hits, 3 of those touching the plate. But the most consequential of the runs was the RBI double hit by Oscar Charleston off of Mike Mussina that the San Antonio Freddie Freeman was unable to corral at first base. Let's go ahead and update our score bug here and give it to the Otters. So if you look in the top right, you can see where the series stands at any given time. So we're giving the Otters game 1. We'll update this as we go. If you need to check in and check out of the World Series, you can just peek up there and get an update on where we stand. So let's go ahead and pull down the sim for game 2. We should be ready to rock here. All right, let's check the chat, see if I missed anything. What's wrong with Fredericks' face? Good question. First fire of the year, you got it, Dishnet. McCarver. Yep, McCarver hit the big homer in the 8th, but it ended up not meaning nearly as much as he had hoped it would. But let's start it all over. So game 1 is done. You can cry about it all you want if you're the Macarenas, but the fact remains you're going to need to pull out 4 of the next 6 games to crown yourself champion. But as a wise man once said, a series does not start until the home team loses. And that did not happen in game 1. Will it happen in game number 2? Let's get this started. We've got the Observatory Park Otters Hudson on the mound facing Jackie. 1-1 count. Winding the pitch. Jackie laces it to third. Picked by Brooks Robinson, thrown across. 1 up and 1 down. And game number 2 is underway. We go bottom 1. And a chance here for the Otters to strike first. They've got their Pete Rose aboard on second base. And Enos Slaughter at the plate. Facing the Macarenas Hudson in this Hudson v. Hudson battle. 1-0 count. The pitch, and that ball's crushed. Deep center field. It's going to one-hop the wall. Enos Slaughter on his way to second. He's got a 2-out RBI double. And the Park Otters strike first and now lead 1-0 here in the first. So if the home team never loses, does the series ever really start? No, never starts. It's a series that had no beginning, middle, or end. It just happened. Like a tree falling in the woods with no one there to hear it. We go top 2 now. Chance for the Macarenas to answer. They've got their Tim Raines aboard on second base in scoring position here with 2 outs, and Ken Caminiti to the dish. The pitch. Line drive right field, base hit. Around third is Raines. He's trying to score the throw, not in time. And the Macarenas tie up the game at 1 apiece. Top 2, 2 away. Caminiti on second. McCarver on first. Dave Bancroft to the dish. Bancroft, not known for his hitting exploits, has a chance here to do some damage. to put his Macarenas in the lead. 1-1 count on him. The pitch. Line drive down the left field line and down. Around third is Caminiti. He will score. McCarver on his way to third. He's not going to stop there. He will score without a throw. Make it 3-1 Macarenas. And the bottom of the San Antonio lineup making some hay here in the second inning. Boom, boom, Bancroft is right. We go bottom 2 now. The Park Otters looking to strike back. They've got their McCarver at the plate, but it's not any Tim McCarver. No, no, no. It's Fire McCarver. Harry Heilman aboard. Nobody out. The pitch to McCarver, and he laces a base hit to left. Heilman gets the second. He'll stop there. 2 aboard. Nobody out for the Park Otters, bottom of their lineup. Brooks Robinson up next, not known for his bat. Double play candidate here for the Macarenas for sure. The pitch. Grounder to short, to second, 1 to first. Double play, a twin killing. As the Macarenas go Bancroft to Jackie to Freeman. None of the plays close. And the Observatory Park Otter has just been gutted, and they'll now need to get a 2-out hit with runners in scoring position from their number 9 hitter, Dave Bancroft. 0-1 count on Dave. The pitch. Bancroft up the middle, base hit! Bancroft's gone wild here today, as we have both the Macarenas and the Park Otters Bancroft filling up the ribby column of the score sheet. Make it 3-2. We go bottom 3. Still 3-2. Otters at the plate. Pete Rose on second. 2 out. Harry Heilman. 2-0 count on him, the pitch. Heilman crushes that one to right field, and it's down. That will go to the wall. Scoring easily is Rose on his way to second with a stand-up double is Heilman. And we have got a brand new ball game all over again. It seems like these two team scores are magnetized towards one another. The largest lead we've seen is 2 runs, and it was very quickly shortened. Beckdog, I really appreciate that joke. That's a good one. I live in a band down by the river. Croft. Top 5. Macarena's back at it. We've got Freddie Freeman, who gets more highlight machine action than just about anyone, and he's batting here with 2 outs in the 5th with Pete Rose aboard. Rose held on by Rose at first. 2-0 count the pitch. And that ball's hit well to left field. The outfield was shifted, which makes this a very long run for Raines. He retrieves it, throws it to the cutoff man, and does so quick enough to dissuade Pete Rose from trying to score. Now the Macarenas will have second and third, 2 out for Oscar Charleston. Charleston down on the count, 1-2. The Park Otters fans to their feet looking for the strikeout here, looking to strand a couple of runners in scoring position. Let's see what happens. The pitch. Swing and a miss. No, he took it. He took it looking strike 3 for Oscar Charleston. Tim Hudson gets out of the jam, keeps the game tied at 3, and we move on to the bottom of the 5th. Here in the bottom of the 5th, we've got Slaughter aboard here for the Otters. 2 away. Oscar Charleston up to the plate. 1-1 count. The pitch. And that ball's looped into left field and down. Stopping at second is Slaughter. A little excuse me check swing from Charleston results in a base hit. And now there's 2 aboard and 2 out for Harry Heilman. Fans staying on their feet. Otters fans looking for the breakthrough here, and they've got a guy at the plate who just might be able to provide it. Harry Heilman, one of the best hitters in this game. He's worked himself to a 3-1 advantage here in the count. The pitch. Ball 4, and they are loaded. They are loaded here at Observatory Park. And they are loaded for Tim McCarver. But it's not just any Tim McCarver. You know it's not just any Tim McCarver. It's Fire McCarver. And he's got a full count here. Runners will be off with the pitch. We're tied in the World Series of game 2 of the 2031 World Series. What does Fire McCarver do with the opportunity to break this one wide open? The pitch. Strike 3 called. 87 miles an hour on the black. Hudson gets the call. McCarver didn't like it one bit. But he's got to go get his shin guards on and get back out there in the field. The Otters strand 3, and this game moves on to the 6th, still tied at 3. Here we go, top 6, Chicken Wolf to start things off for the Macarenas. 0-2 count the pitch, and that ball's crushed down the right field line, rattling in the corner. Chicken Wolf on his way to second. He will stop there. He's got a stand-up double. And the Macarena's in business here in the 6th. Chicken Wolf on over to third with a productive out from Tim Raines. And Ken Caminiti to the plate. Sensing the moment, the Otters, the Park Otters, bring the infield in. And interestingly, look at the defensive alignment here. We have a pull hitter shift in the infield with 3 defenders to the right of second base. And we've got a spray hitter shift in the outfield, with Oscar Charleston left of straightaway center, Slaughter leaving a ton of room down the right field line. So the Otters getting shift happy here and hoping that that will allow them to keep Chicken Wolf stapled to third base. Hudson delivers. Little looper, right field and down. Ken Caminiti drives in Chicken Wolf. The Macarenas lead 4-3. No amount of shifting was going to prevent that one. We go bottom 7. Park Otters playing catch-up now. Pete Rose, our first hitter, batting here with 1 away. Wind and the pitch. Little looper, center field and down. So 1-out single for Pete Rose. Enos Slaughter, next batter. 2-1 count on him. Needs to stay out of the double play. The pitch crushes that one. Deep center field. Heading back is Charleston. He will make the grab. A rocket off the bat, but right at Charleston. Able to put the squeeze on it. And now there's 2 away here in the 7th. Nothing doing for the rest of the 7th. We now go top 8. And the Macarenas find themselves in the unfamiliar position of looking for insurance runs. They'll do so against Charles Nagy. Tim Raines to the dish with 1 away the pitch. And that ball is belted. Deep right field. It might be. It could be. It is a home run and a deep one from Tim Raines to straightaway right field. 405. Off the bat there, and it's now 5-3 Macarenas. A hugely valuable and important insurance run for a team not used to working with a lead here in this series. We go bottom 8. Into this game comes Johnny Cueto. New card dropped last Thursday. Placed in many high-level bullpens. Let's see what his stats look like here. So Johnny Cueto versus right-handed batters. Let's go Harry Heilman versus right as well and see how we can set up this matchup. So Cueto versus right very much resembles a league average arm. It's a small sample, so let's stop short of calling this fully representative of what we can expect. This homer per 9 probably lower than expected. Maybe the other numbers move a bit. And we compare that against Harry Heilman versus right. Harry Heilman slightly worse than league average bat here at negative 1.08. Wind and the pitch. Cueto fires a little looper right field, and that ball is down. That is the 3rd flare base hit we've seen in this series. We'll see if it becomes trouble for the Macarenas as Harry Heilman now aboard as we head into the bottom 3rd of the Otters lineup. Tim McCarver to the dish. Now, we remember Tim McCarver for striking out with the bases loaded in a tie game earlier today in 2 outs. He's still Fire McCarver. Can he do something more here in the 8th, representing the tying run? The pitch. Ball 4. He just misses on the inner corner there. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, unable to get the call. And McCarville will trot on down to first. And now there's 2 aboard for Brooks Robinson. Let's see if the Park Otters go to the bench for a pinch hitter. They do not. So Brooks Robinson will bat for himself here. Not known as a hitter. Let's see what types of production we can expect here. So Brooks Robinson, bottom right corner, you can see is a -8 bat R versus right-hand pitching. A low OBP, low slug defensive option. And he's now being asked to equal the score here in the 8th. 2-1 advantage in the count. The pitch. Grounder to short to second, 1 to first, double play. That will end the inning, strand a runner, and keep this game 5-3 as we go to the 9th. A brutal back-breaking twin killing there for the Park Otters. Top 9. Macarena's in the business for some more insurance, and they send up Jackie. Little looper, right field, and down. That's a 1-out single for Jackie. We'll see if, with the house money, having a couple run lead here makes them a little bit more aggressive on the base paths. Jackie Robinson definitely capable of stealing a base or 2. Or if they play it straight and let Rose and Freeman try to knock him in. Nothing doing top 9. We go bottom 9. And we told you before the series began that the Macarenas deploy a traditional bullpen alignment. 2 setup guys and a closer. That closer being Bill Campbell. Bill Campbell, one of the better performant arms in all of Perfect Team, in all of Perfect League. I'll show you his statistics right now versus left-handed hitters as he's going to face Dave Bancroft here in the 9th. Dave Bancroft will hit for himself. I thought this being the bottom of the 9th, trailing by 2, and being at the bottom of the order, this could have been a spot where we saw a pinch hitter up there, as Dave Bancroft not known as much of a hitter. I guess from an OBP perspective, he's not a train wreck there at 307 versus right, and that's the skill needed most, as his run means nothing without one behind it. Bill Campbell comes set. The wind and the pitch. Fly ball center field. Oh, misplayed by Oscar Charleston and over his head. Dave Bancroft, fire Dave Bancroft, will end up at second base. We're calling it a base hit, but Charleston definitely did not respect that one off the bat. He stood his ground, and as the ball approached, he leaped up for it, was unable to grab it, had to retreat and chase it to the wall, and Bancroft, running hard the whole time, ends up at second base in what is a critical misplay, adding some drama to this 9th inning. Up next, Tim Raines. He's down on the count 1-2. The pitch. Fly ball center. In comes Charleston. He'll make the grab this time. Throw it on in. No advancement for the runner. 1 away now. Jackie Robinson to the dish, representing the tying run. He's got himself a 3-1 count to work with here. The fans to their feet, looking for a little boom boom magic here. Down 2 in the 9th. The pitch. Ball 4. Tying run aboard. Potential winning run to the plate in the form of Jeff Bagwell. Now, what have we been seeing from Jeff Bagwell in Perfect League? Let's see. Here's Jeff Bagwell versus right. Here's Bill Campbell versus right. You have to say the advantage to the pitcher here. Bagwell rocking that 235, 314, 393 triple slash. And let's see if he can come through for the Park Otters here in the 9th. The pitch. Little looper to second base and caught. Jackie Robinson puts the squeeze on it. Bagwell is retired. And we are now down to the final and 27th out of this game. And it's coming in the form of Enos Slaughter. Let's go ahead and set up our matchup analyzer here as the game is on the line. Slaughter versus right, Campbell versus left. An extra base hit to tie it. An over the fence hit to win it. And any kind of out will end it. What's going to happen here? High drama in game number 2. 1-0 count. The pitch. Fly ball center. In comes Charleston. Still coming in and makes the grab. The San Antonio Macarenas win game number 2 as Charleston puts the squeeze on the softly hit fly ball from Enos Slaughter. Final score of this one, 5-3. And the Macarenas dance in front of home plate. As we take a look at the box scores here, we see the Hudson v. Hudson battle had both pitchers not on their A game. The Observatory Park Hudson gives up 4 runs, 10 base runners over the course of 6 2/3, whereas the San Antonio Hudson gives up 3 runs, 12 base runners over 5 2/3. In the end, San Antonio's just slightly better enough, and then the San Antonio bullpen locked it down with the combination of Johnny Cueto and Bill Campbell. 2 pitchers that have been great the entirety of this playoff run. So let's go ahead and give this one to the Macarenas. I don't know that that's going to fit on my score bug. Let's find out. Well, looks like we're going with just Macarena. So one thing I didn't talk about enough in the preview is the owners of these 2 teams that we're playing here today, that we're watching play here today. So we have OK Autopilot facing off against Uncle Harris. Autopilot piloting the Observatory Park Otters, and then Uncle Harris commanding the San Antonio Macarenas. Neither name was familiar to me as a PT-21 combatant, but I don't know the whole backstory there. So perhaps they're new. Perhaps they have different names than last year. Perhaps they are pidgelings. We'll never know. No, I think we have OK Autopilot in the chat. So perhaps we can learn a little bit more about them and their origin story on the game as this series goes along. We are 1 minute away from our Game 3 sim, so we'll be right back to it. And I will go ahead and load that up now. Hero Driver 68 wishes his Cueto pitches like that. You know, my Cueto was okay. I threw Cueto into the bullpen once I got him on Thursday, and I wouldn't say that I was overly impressed or overly disappointed. Seemed to just kind of be. All right, let's load up this Game 3. Now, the home team has lost. This series has begun. The Macarenas have split in Observatory Park, exactly what they set out to do, and now they have the task of protecting home field. If they win their home games, they win themselves an 8-inch Perfect League Champion trophy. If they are unable to protect home field, then we head back to Observatory Park. Okay, so we moved this series to San Antonio. Now let's remember, this ballpark is a maximum batting average on balls in play ballpark. That means that we could see more dink and dunk. We could see more singles. We could see more pitchers struggling to get through this game, and more pitchers having more and more jams, more base runners to have to work with. So we'll keep an eye out for that as we get this one underway. Now the Macarenas will send out Cy Young to start this one, and they'll have to face the Observatory Park Tim Raines to get it started. Full count on Raines as Cy Young wheels and delivers. Strike 3 called. Game 3 is started in style by Cy Young as he gets Tim Raines on a 93-mile-an-hour heater on the inner half that Raines thought missed the zone. Cy Young gets the call and gets his 20th strikeout of this postseason. We go bottom 1 now, and chance for the Macarenas to make some noise, facing the Observatory Park Adam Wainwright. Wind in the pitch, and that ball is belted deep right field. It's going to one-hop the wall. Macarena's Jackie around first. He's getting to second. He's not even thinking about stopping there. Heading all the way to third. He slides in, and that is a leadoff triple for Jackie Robinson, and the San Antonio faithful love it. An early reason for them to get into this one, exactly what Adam Wainwright was hoping to avoid. Now with 1 away in the inning, Pete Rose an unproductive first out of the inning. Freddie Freeman will try to drive in Jackie. 1-2 count. The pitch. Looper left field, diving catch! Tagging from third is Jackie, and he will not make it! Thrown out from left field is Jackie Robinson. Tim Raines starts the double play from left field. An unbelievable turn of events as the Macarenas rally is retired here in the first. A slight base running error by Jackie off the bat, compounded when Tim Raines comes up firing to complete the double play. Jackie got a bad read on that one. His first step was down the line. As he realized Tim Raines had a play on it, he broke back to third, but was not all the way back by the time Tim Raines caught it. Tim Raines catches the ball, comes up firing in an extraordinary fast period of time, and Jackie, thinking that given that Raines left his feet, he was still going to be able to moonwalk home, still tries to tag despite the bad jump, and boy was he in for a rude surprise when waiting for him at the dish was Tim McCarver with ball in glove. So the Macarenas spoil a fabulous opportunity to get the first run here in Game 3, and a huge shot in the arm for the Otters here. Jay Modenhall having nightmares of Hank Aaron, and I know exactly what he's talking about. I do not mean to smile. Bottom 4. Bottom 4, Macarenas back on the highlight machine and hoping to erase the memory of the first inning. They've got Freeman at the plate, Pete Rose aboard. The pitch to Freeman, and he lines one to second base, to short one to first, double play. Quick turn by the keystone of Bancroft and Robinson, and the Macarenas will once again see 2 outs recorded on the same batted ball here in this one. Bottom 5, Macarenas another chance. This time they'll send up Chicken Wolf. Wainwright winds and delivers, and Wolf crushes this one deep right center. That's going to get down. Wolf for extras. Gets to second base. He'll stop there. A leadoff double for Chicken Wolf here in the 5th, as this one is still tied. Chicken Wolf now to third base. Last time the Macarenas were in this situation, chaos ensued. We'll see what happens here as Caminiti steps up. Infield shifted for pull. Outfield shifted for spray. The pitch. Grounder to second. Runner holds. Throw to first in time. Chicken Wolf frozen at third, unable to advance on the play. This rally now comes down to Tim McCarver, as he'll need a 2-out base hit to untie this game. The pitch. Line drive up the middle, base hit. McCarver comes through. McCarver picks up Caminiti and picks up the spirit of the Macarenas as they now lead in this one 1-0. We go top 7. We see that the Otters have finally logged their first hit in this one. Took them all of 6 innings to get there, and now they're looking for their first run. They will start off this inning with Pete Rose facing a cruising Cy Young of the Macarenas. 2-2 count, the wind and the pitch. And that ball is laced up the middle, a base hit. Pete Rose starts this one off with a single. Slaughter, Charleston, and Heilman to follow. Here's Enos Slaughter. 0-2 count. The pitch.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Big time strikeout for Cy Young as he gets out number 1. Up comes Oscar Charleston. Full count here. Now Pete Rose has advanced to second base. Could have been a stolen base. Could have been a pass ball. Could have been a wild pitch. But regardless of the genesis of it, we now have a runner in scoring position representing the tying run late here in Game 3. Charleston, full count. The pitch.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Macarenas get a huge strikeout here. Cy Young elevates the fastball. Charleston not able to make contact with it. And he'll head to the bench. 2 outs here in the 7th now. Fans on their feet as they want to help Cy Young get through this one. Cy Young has been absolutely brilliant in this one, but only has a 1-run lead to show for it. He'll face Harry Heilman here. The pitch. Blooper right field. Coming in, Enos Slaughter. Chicken Wolf. He makes the play. And that's going to do it for the top half of the 7th. Macarenas will lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom. Now that organist just quit. That organist was given every opportunity to delight us with the 7th inning stretch and mailed it in at halftime. Unbelievable. All right, top 8. Top 8, and the Otters still working to find a way to tie this one up. We've got McCarver leading off, Brooks Robinson to follow, Dave Bancroft, Fire Dave, will bat third. We'll see if we have any pinch hitters as this one is late and tight. The pitch to McCarver, and he loops one to center. Coming in is Charleston. He'll make the grab, 1 away. 1 out now for Brooks Robinson. Brooks Robinson not being pinch hit for, so being allowed to hit here late and trailing in this one. Wind and the pitch. Line drive, base hit to right field. A 1-out single for Robinson, saying pinch hit for this. Now look at that. So Brooks Robinson gets the single. Cool Papa Bell pinch runs. Cool Papa Bell steals second base. And now the Otters are any kind of single away from tying this one up. Let's go to our matchup analyzer to see what we're looking at here right now. So we've got Dave Bancroft at the plate. Now we've seen Dave be dangerous with the bat, but that's not something that he's known for. And let's look at Cy Young on the mound. Cy Young versus left, Dave Bancroft versus right. You have to say the pitcher has the advantage here, but it's not any Dave Bancroft. It's Fire Dave. So what can Fire Dave do here, trailing by 1 here late in Game 3? The pitch. Blooper center field, long run, Charleston. He'll make the grab. Two outs now in the 8th. Last hope this inning is Tim Raines. This is the same Tim Raines that in the first inning initiated the double play that kept a run off the board. Let's see what we can expect from Tim Raines versus right. So as you see in the bottom right corner of your screen, Tim Raines is an above league average bat versus right-hand pitching. He rocks a triple slash of 268, 339, 416. And he's got a momentous opportunity here. One of the fastest base runners in baseball history on second base. Just begging him to find any sort of pasture out in the outfield so that he can score and tie this game. 2-2 count, fans on their feet. The pitch. Line drive left field, long run, and it makes the grab. Tim Raines catches the ball batted off of Tim Raines' bat. And that will end the threat here in the 8th inning. We will go to the 9th, or we go to the bottom of the 8th, with the San Antonio Macarenas leading 1-0. Nothing doing, bottom 8 for the Macarenas, so Bill Campbell will be handed and trusted with a 1-0 lead. Now, I've showed you Bill Campbell already, and I'll show it to you again. Let's look at his complete numbers, which combine his versus left and versus right. We see that he has a well better than average ERA, an average whip, slightly better K per 9, slightly worse walks per 9, but homers per 9. Bill Campbell doing an excellent job of not giving up those late game back-breaking homers. He will start this one off versus Jackie Robinson. And even though we've seen plenty of highlights from Jackie, we have not seen his profile yet, so we'll pop it up for you. Jackie Robinson versus right. We see that versus right, he is a significant producer with the bat. 273, 357, 412 triple slash line for him. Good enough for a 9+ bat R. Bill Campbell to face him now. Wind and the pitch. And that ball's looped to left field. Giving chase is Tim Raines, and he'll make the grab. One up and one down for the Macarenas, who are efforting to go up 2-1 in this series. Fans stay on their feet as Pete Rose comes up with one away. Wind and the pitch. That ball's hit to left field as well. Raines giving chase. It's a long run. He'll make the grab. 2 outs in the 9th inning. The Macarenas, Tim Raines, a couple of good plays in a row. Final hope for the Otters is Enos Slaughter. We'll get the matchup analyzer right so we know what to expect here. Campbell versus left, Slaughter versus right. 3-1 count. And the Macarenas faithful going crazy on their feet right now. Wide and the pitch. Ball 4. Bill Campbell walks the tying run. Will now have to face Oscar Charleston. That 94-mile-an-hour sinker just missed the zone on the outer half. Charleston not quite the hitter that Enos Slaughter is, but Charleston's profile definitely has a lot of home run risk to it. .438 slugging percentage versus right-hand pitching. Certainly deposits a lot of balls beyond the fence. Campbell comes set, delivers, and that ball is belted! Deep left field! Gone! Oscar Charleston! A 2-run shot to give the Otters the lead with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Oh, baby! You could hear a pin drop here at Macarena Field. Unbelievable turn of events. Oscar Charleston got the pitch he wanted and didn't miss it. Just to the left of straightaway center, 406 feet off the bat, and 45,000 strong sat down in their seats. Hey, Macarena. All right, well, it's time for the Macarenas to do something here. They were an out away from a 2-1 series lead at home. And now we're seeing the shoe on the other foot. They need to come up with a run here in the bottom of the ninth. They do have the meat of their order. And they also have Joe Nathan on the mound. Not nearly the same quality and caliber of pitcher as Bill Campbell. So what can Freddie Freeman, Oscar Charleston, and Chicken Wolf do? 2-0 count on Freeman as he tries to start off this rally. The wind and the pitch. Line drive, base hit. Down into the corner. Freeman around second. Or Freeman into second. He has a leadoff double here in the ninth. Next up, Oscar Charleston. Full count on him. At a minimum, you're hoping to advance Freeman to third. I'm a little surprised we don't see a pinch runner for Freeman, given the importance of that run. Perhaps the bench is devoid of any potential speed option. But Charleston here looking to avoid the strikeout. Full count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Joe Nathan drops the hammer curveball. Charleston seemed to pick up on it, but just unable to get a piece of it to foul that one off. We'll head back to the bench. Freddie Freeman still stuck out at second base. And now Chicken Wolf, Tim Raines, and the rest will have to see if they can pick up the pieces. So Jim Edmonds will come in. We have another instance of Edmonds pinch hitting. He comes in to face Joe Nathan here, batting for Chicken Wolf. 1-1 count on Edmonds. The pitch. Liner up the middle. Fielded by Bancroft. Throw on over to Rose in time. Advancing on the play is Freddie Freeman. So we now have the tying run for this game 90 feet away as Tim Raines steps up to the batter's box. So Tim Raines made a couple of nice defensive plays in the top half of this inning, preceding the bomb that Oscar Charleston hit, changing the entire script. But Tim Raines has a chance for a late rewrite for all the sports writers here in the box if he can come up with a big one here. Nathan to Raines, game on the line. Pivotal game 3 on the line. The pitch. Little blooper over to third. Making the grab is Brooks Robinson. And that's going to do it. The Observatory Park Otters steal this one. Literally grab a victory from the jaws of defeat. Now lead the series 2-1 and steal right back home field advantage. An unbelievable outcome here in San Antonio. No time to grieve this one. The Macarenas are going to have to turn right around and come back tomorrow for Game 4. Probably good for their psyche. What a game here in San Antonio. I mean, you have your Cy Young go 8 innings, giving up only 4 base runners and no runs, and you don't walk away with that game. That's hard to sleep with. On the other side, Adam Wainwright was great. Adam Wainwright, 8 innings, 5 hits, only 1 earned. Looked like he was going to be the hard luck loser, but Oscar Charleston had some late ideas that ended up changing this game on a dime. Joe Nathan gets that tough save. First save of the postseason for him. Oh, baby. What a Game 3. Now, what does Game 4 have in store? I don't know if I can handle too many more of those. Oscar Charleston. Not the best average hitter, not the best OBP hitter, but kind of reminds me a little bit of the face of the franchise, Ken Griffey Jr., in that when you need a late game home run, He's not the worst guy to tap. He's going to put the ball over the fence from time to time, and he's going to do so in some big spots. And boy, did he ever do that. Boy, did he ever do that in Game 3. All right, so what do we have going on here? We're in Game 4, which means we are emptying our playoff rotations. Both teams are rocking a 4-man playoff rotation, and so we'll see Smokey Joe Wood here for the Macarenas. He'll start this game off against Tim Raines. Wind and the pitch. Grounder to second. Easy play for Jackie Robinson. On over to Freddie Freeman. 1 up and 1 down. Still bottom 1. Now we move to the bottom 1. We've got Freddie Freeman aboard. Oscar Charleston at the dish. 2 outs. So Charleston, hero for the Otters in Game 3. Let's see what the Macarenas copy can do here in Game 4. 1-2 count. Wind in the pitch. That ball's laced up the middle. Around third is Freddie. He's going to try to score. Here comes the throw. Not in time. 1-0 Macarenas on the 2-out RBI single from Oscar Charleston. Able to advance on the throw from Oscar Charleston at the plate. Still bottom 1. Macarenas still looking to add more to their lead here. They've got Raines at the plate. Charleston now at third. Chicken Wolf at first. Fans on their feet, the pitch. Little blooper, center field, long run, and that ball's down. Scoring on the play is Charleston. Going from first to third is Chicken Wolf. And it is now 2-0 Macarenas. Top 2. Macarenas now working with that 2-run lead. Park Otters trying to work their way back. We got Heilman on second, 2 out. Tim McCarver at the plate. The pitch. Little blooper left field and down. Around third is Heilman. He's going to try to score. The throw comes all the way through but is late. The Otters are on the board, make it 2-1 Macarenas. Now 3-1 here in the second. Macarenas looking to add to that lead. They've got runners at the corners and 1 away. Freddie Freeman at the dish. The pitch, and Freeman to second base. To short, 1 over to first in time. That's going to erase that run as Jackie Robinson and Bancroft able to turn that one with a quickness. But Macarenas will head to the third, leading 3-1. Here in the third, Otters trying to fight their way back into this one. We've got Raines on second, 1 away, and Jackie at the plate. The pitch. Little blooper, right field and down. Around third is Raines. He's going to try to score. The throw coming all the way through. Not in time. Jackie advances to second on the throw. Make it 3-2 now, Macarenas, cutting the lead in half. And Park Otters still in business here in the third. Pete Rose at the dish, 3-0 count. The pitch, ball 4. Smokey Joe Wood loses Pete Rose. Digging the hole a little bit deeper as we get into the meat of that Otters lineup. Up comes Slaughter. Now he's worked himself a 3-1 advantage. Smokey Joe Wood exhibiting some control issues here in the third. The pitch. Grounded to first. Fielded by Freeman to second. 1 over to first. Not in time. Enos Slaughter able to beat the throw by Bancroft. So they'll now have runners at the corners with Oscar Charleston to the plate. But it's not any Oscar Charleston. It's the Oscar Charleston that single-handedly won Game 3 last night. What does he have in mind for an encore here? Tying run on third. go-ahead run on first. The pitch. Swing! Gonna miss. Strike 3. Oscar Charleston headed to the plate without the fire emoji and lived to pay the price. We go top 5. Otters still trying to even this game up. They've got Tim Raines on first to lead off the inning. Tim Raines, an excellent base stealer. We'll see if we see any activity on the base paths here as Jackie Robinson's at the plate. The pitch, and there he goes. Throw down to second in time. Tim McCarver fires on down to second base and retires Tim Raines. We go bottom 5 now. Macarena has a great chance to add to their lead. Jackie on third. Freeman on first, 2 away. Chicken Wolf at the plate. The pitch, and Wolf crushes it. Deep center field and over the head of Oscar Charleston. 1 run is in. Around third is Freeman. He'll stop there. Call it an RBI double for Chicken Wolf. Make it 4-2 Macarenas. And we're still here with some trouble in the 5th. We'll head to the 6th, just 4-2 now. And Smokey Joe Wood will take on Enos Slaughter. Wind and the pitch, ball 4. Slaughter takes the 4-pitch walk. And looks like Charleston also reaches, which brings up Harry Heilman with nobody out and 2 on. 2-1 count for Heilman, the pitch, and he loops one to left, and that ball will get down. Holding at third is Slaughter, unable to get a great jump on. He had to make sure that ball was through. And so now the bases are loaded for the Otters, chasing 2 here in the 6th, heading into the bottom third of their lineup. The first batter in that bottom third is Tim McCarver. And he will bat here against Smokey Joe Wood. Let's go ahead and load up the matchup analyzer. Tim McCarver versus right. Give me some Smokey Joe Wood versus left. Pretty even matchup here, as you got McCarver right around a league average bat and Smokey Joe Wood around a league average arm. We'll let RNG decide. 1-0 count. The pitch. Blooper right field. Making the catch and throwing home is Chicken Wolf. The throw is not in time. Tagging from third is Slaughter. He makes it safely. Surprisingly not advancing to third is Oscar Charleston as he stayed at second base. But it is now a 4-3 ball game, and the Otters still have 2 on and 1 out here in the 6th. Brooks Robinson, their next batter. Brooks will bat for himself here. 1-0 count. The pitch. Crushes that one to right. Making a diving grab is Chicken Wolf. An unbelievable play in right field. Ranging to his right. Leaves his feet and able to keep that ball from the turf. Securing out number 2 here in the 6th. Next batter, Dave Bancroft. He's down on the count 1-2, and he's the last hope for the Otters here to do more with this rally.
Strike 3.
Strike 3 called. That will end the inning. Macarena's fans love it as they are able to keep their lead as we move to the bottom of the 6th. Now, one thing to note is that surprising non-advance by Oscar Charleston on the sacrifice fly could have cost them a run, as Charleston, instead of being on third, was on second. And so on the Brooks Robinson fly to right field that Chicken Wolf left his feet to make an extraordinary play, instead of having to hold at second, he could have been tagging from third to tie the game. Top 7. Macarena's up now 5-3. Otters chasing 2. Jackie Robinson on first, 1 away. Pete Rose at the dish, 1-2 count. The pitch. Grounder to second, short. It's going to be double play. That's got to be a twin killing for Pete Rose, and that's going to wipe away the Otters' chances here in the 7th. Let's see if we get an organist playing here. The organist was announced, but he no-showed. We go top 8. Otters still chasing 2. They'll start with Enos Slaughter here. Full count on him. Musina on the hill, the pitch. Ball 4. Protecting late leads. You don't like to see leadoff walks, but that's exactly where that 95-mile-an-hour sinker sailing wide will provide here for the Otters. They send up Oscar Charleston, hero from Game 3. Does he have a little bit more magic here in Game 4? Full count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Huge strikeout there for Moose. Huge strikeout for Moose, getting the first out here in the 8th inning. Fans will stay on their feet as Harry Heilman comes up. 1 away. The pitch. Grounded to short, to second one, to first in time, double play! And the Macarenas get out of the 8th inning with no damage. And they will carry their 5-3 advantage to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom 8, chance for the Macarenas to add. They start with Rains. Charles Nagy on the hill for the Otters. The pitch, and that ball's laced into the left field corner. Rains around first, heading to second. He'll have himself a leadoff double as Caminiti waits on deck. Nothing else doing in the bottom of the 8th. So the Macarenas are down to just their 2-run lead. They're going to need to make that work. Bill Campbell on in relief of this one. He had the disaster yesterday of Charleston turning around a heater and turning around a ball game, but now he is trusted with Game 4. He's got Dave Bancroft on first, a runner he can ignore, and then the tying run represented at the plate in Tim Raines. 1 out away from securing the Game 4 win and evening this series up 2-2. Fans on their feet. 3-1 count, the pitch, and that ball's hit well. Deep right field, ranging back is Chicken Wolf, and that ball will leave the yard. Tim Raines ties the game. Unbelievable. My, oh my. Back-to-back games, Bill Campbell's blow saves via the long ball, something that is somewhat of a specialty of his. They hear that Rains down in Africa. Wow. Unbelievable. Still top 9. So Rains goes yard. And now Campbell needs to get out of this inning just to force it to the bottom of the 9th and give his teammates a chance to finish it off. Full count, wind and the pitch, ball 4. Campbell's nightmare continues here in the top of the 9th. Pete Rose now up. Let's see if Jackie tries to take a bag. The pitch, looper up the middle. That's a base hit. Around second, heading to third is Jackie. He will make it as the throw is late. And now the Otters have the go-ahead run on third base. Enos Slaughter to the plate. Bill Campbell long gone from this one. Charles Nagy on to reclaim it. The pitch to Slaughter. Line drive, base hit, right field. Jackie scores. Heading from first to third is Rose, and the Otters now lead this one. My, oh my. The Observatory Park Otters doing their best cockroach routine here. 2 games in a row on death's door. Can't be dispatched. Now bottom of the 9th. The Otters will send out Charles Nagy to try to nail this one down, which would be the ultimate thievery a day after doing the same. They'll start off facing the San Antonio Macarena's Jackie Robinson here in the 9th. Wind and the pitch. Grounded to second. Easy field by Jackie. On over to Rose. In time. 1 up and 1 down. You can feel a collective nervousness permeating and spreading throughout this San Antonio stadium as those witnessing this are having a horrible case of deja vu. Pete Rose up next. Full count. Wind and the pitch. Strike three called. Charles Nagy gets the call, drops a 95-mile-an-hour sinker on the outer corner. Pete Rose didn't like the call one bit, but nothing he can do about it. He'll head to the bench. And Freddie Freeman, the very last hope here for the Macarenas. As Tohan in the chat updating me that I forgot to get our score bug updated after game 3. So we'll do that now. Otters on the verge of stealing game 4. 1 strike away. Nagy facing Freeman. Full count. Wind. And the pitch. Grounder up the middle. No, it's a foul ball. And it's caught by the catcher. Tim McCarver puts the squeeze on it. And that's going to do it. An unbelievable comeback for the Observatory Park Otters, which now take a commanding 3-1 lead in this series. Stealing game 3 with 2 outs in the 9th. Stealing game 4 with 2 outs in the 9th. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, look at this win expectancy chart. This game was over. This game was buried. But Tim Raines had another idea. Tim Raines hits the 2-run homer off of Campbell. And then Jackie Robinson right behind him says, you know what? I know there's 2 outs. I know there's nobody on base. I know we just got what we needed to out of this inning. But let's get a little greedy. Starts a new rally. And those behind him able to knock him in to secure the winning run. Unbelievable. Big Red Fury asking who won last week. Well, there wasn't a last week. This is the first week of Perfect League. So first week of the Perfect League World Series. We are efforting to crown our first champion, and the Otters now find themselves 1 win away. Amazingly. Well, I think it's time we move on to game 5 and see if this thing's over. I mean, the collective shock spreading throughout San Antonio right now. I'm feeling it here from where I sit. Just an unbelievable game 3. I mean, either one of those games on this stage is just absolutely crushing. Absolutely crushing. Your Bill Campbell, arguably the best reliever in this game, giving up a home run to lose it. That happening one time will set you off. Happening in back-to-back games, oof. Oof is all I can say. But let's move on to game 5. Let's move on to game 5 and see what happens. If you're the Otters, you want to step on the throat now. You want to put this one away. You've stolen game 3. You've stolen game 4. Why not steal game 5 and then start planning the parade in Observatory Park? If you're the Macarenas, you know the odds are against you now. But at a minimum, you need to win this home game. Win this home game, send it back to Observatory Park, and then try to feed them their own medicine in Game 6 and Game 7. All right, gang. This is the first sim where the Perfect League World Series is up for grabs. If the Otters win here, they are PT22's first champion. Let's get this underway. Adam Wainwright will take the rubber here for the Macarenas, bearing the very weighty responsibility of getting this train back on the tracks. Line drive left field for Tim Raines in Observatory Park, picking up where they left off yesterday. They will start this game with a leadoff single. We go top two now. Back on the highlight machine are the Otters. They've got a leadoff Charleston aboard, and then Harry Heilman coming up. The pitch down the left field line and fair. It caroms off the sidewall. Retrieving it is Raines. He'll throw it in, able to keep the runners from scoring. But Charleston ends up at third. Heilman ends up at second. And very quickly here in Game 5, the Macarenas are in a touch of trouble. Up comes McCarver. A tiring McCarver, but he's got a 2-0 advantage in this account. The pitch. McCarver laces a base hit to right field. Scoring is Charleston. Around third and holding there is Heilman. Otters now lead 1-0 and still will have two aboard. Adam Wainwright tried to sneak a sinker in on the inner half, and not surprised at all was McCarver turned on it, laced it through the hole, and puts his team up 1-0. Make it 3-0 Otters. We have two off-screen runs, which is never good news for the opponent. Simply 4 innings into this game, Observatory Park already has 3 runs and 8 hits. But it's time for the Macarenas to answer. They've got Freeman aboard. They've got Charleston at the plate. And they've got a home crowd that is just dying for something to cheer about. 2-1 count. The pitch. Little blooper. Right center. That ball's going to get down. Freddie Freeman will stop at second. And this rally deepens a little bit further as Charleston bloops a single to right center. Chicken Wolf now up. Testament to the San Antonio faithful, as despite what they've been through over the past 48 hours and despite facing a 3-0 deficit here, crowd fully into this one and rooting on Chicken Wolf. The pitch. Ball 4. They're loaded. The San Antonio Macarenas with a primo rally here in the 4th. Tim Raines to the plate. 2-1 count. Infield shifted. The pitch. Fly ball. Center field hit well. Making the catch is Charleston and throwing home. Not in time. Freeman will score. Charleston will advance from second to third. The Macarenas are on the board and still have a couple of base runners here in the 4th. Caminiti to the plate. Full count on him. The pitch. Strike 3. Called. Throw down to second and in time. A strike him out, throw him out double play as Tim McCarver cuts down Chicken Wolf, who was in motion on the play. So the San Antonio Macarenas load the bases with nobody out. They do walk away with a run, but how easily it could have been a lot more than that. We go bottom 6, still 3-1. And, top 6. Observatory Park Otters looking to add right here. We've got the Macarena Satchel Paige into this one. We've got Pete Rose at the plate. 3-0 count on Rose. The pitch. Ball 4. They are now loaded. They are now loaded for Enos Slaughter. If you are a Macarena fan, you have got to be dancing to get out of this trouble. You're already down 2. It's not early here in game number 5. And Enos Slaughter has a dangerous bat in his hands that could really break this one wide open. 1-0 count the pitch. And he bloops one to left field. Coming in is Rains. He'll make the grab. Macarena's dodge further danger for the time being. And will head to bottom 6. Down 3-1. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Pete Rose to the plate. 2-1 count on him. Looking to start that rally for the Macarenas, and that's exactly what he does. A blooper single to left field. He'll stop at first base, but a leadoff single for Pete Rose. Next batter, Freddie Freeman. 2-0 count on him, the pitch. That one's blooped to right field and down. Pete Rose will stop at second base, but the first 2 batters have now reached against Cy Young of the Otters here in the 6th. You've got to be wondering just how many more rallies the Macarenas have in them. Oscar Charleston to the plate, fans on their feet. 1-1 count the pitch. Little dinker to third, gonna be a tough play. Fielding it and eating it is Brooks Robinson. He'll just hold the ball. That's an infield hit, and they are now loaded. Macarenas with another primo scoring opportunity here in the 6th. Chicken Wolf at the plate. Down 1-2 in the count. Infield in. I'm shocked to see the infield in right now. Most teams would concede that runner at third in exchange for a double play, but the Macarenas playing more aggressively than that. Or excuse me, the Park Otters playing for that out at home. 1-2 count. The pitch to Chicken Wolf. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chicken Wolf, normally an excellent bet for contact, but not this time as he goes down swinging, and the burden of the moment will fall to Tim Raines. The pitch to Raines. He lines a base hit to right field. Scoring is Rose. Around third and holding is Freddie Freeman, representing the tying run. There's now 1 away, and they're still loaded for Caminiti. 2-2 count on Caminiti. Infield in for the Park Otters. Cy Young comes set, delivers strike 3. Caminiti tried to hold up. It was a low and slow curveball out of the hand of Cy Young. Caminiti able to pick it up too slowly and had already gone too far. Was unable to check his swing. The third base umpire rings him up, and that's going to be an all-important second out here in the 6th. Potentially the last hope for the Macarenas here in this 6th inning rally is Tim McCarver. The pitch. McCarver, fly ball, center field. Long run Charleston, but he's there and it's playable. And that will end the rally here in the 6th for the second consecutive time. The Macarenas load the bases with nobody out and only able to walk away with 1 run to show for it. We shall see if they end up regretting those moments later. Cy Young still out there here pitching in the 7th inning. He's had a long day. He's already yielded 9 base hits. And he'll start this one off with the bottom of the order in Dave Bancroft. Wind and the pitch. Bancroft lines a base hit to right field. The Macarenas showing a lot of fight in them. Lots of base runners, lots of effort as they try to get back into this one. Jackie Robinson now to the plate. Bancroft aboard. 1-0 count on Jackie, the pitch. And he bunts! Fielded at first, over to first in time. So Pete Rose throwing on over to Jackie Robinson covering the base will retire Jackie. That's one out, but advancing into scoring position is Dave Bancroft on the sacrifice bunt. Pete Rose to the plate. 0-2 count on him. Cy Young pitch count elevating here. Does he have enough to get through another rally? The pitch. Fly ball right field. Shifting over is Slaughter. He'll make the grab. Staying at second is Bancroft, and that's 2 outs here in the 7th. Cy Young will remain in this game as this pivotal moment comes to Freddie Freeman. Let's set up the matchup analyzer for it. Freddie Freeman versus Wright. Cy Young versus left. 1-2 count. Wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cy Young goes to the backdoor slider, and Freddie Freeman, expecting some velocity, unable to speed it down in enough time to foul that one off. And that's going to end the threat here for the Macarenas in the 7th. We will now move to the 8th inning. Observatory Park Otters 3, San Antonio Macarenas 2. Bottom 8 Macarenas looking to get their leadoff man on for the 4th consecutive inning as they send Oscar Charleston to the plate. He's worked a 3-0 advantage against Cy Young. The pitch. And swinging on 3-0, Oscar Charleston hits a lazy grounder on over to Jackie Robinson, who throws on over to Rose. Get the first out of the inning. 1 away now, and Jim Edmonds comes into this game. Jim Edmonds pinch hitting for Chicken Wolf. I almost said Chicken Run. 3-1 count for Edmonds. The wind and the pitch. Ball 4. Works a base on balls here. Now represents the tying run with 1 away here in the 8th. Up comes Timmy Raines. 2-2 count. Into this game comes Satchel Paige, and he will start his appearance off with a called strike 3. Tim Raines didn't like it, but it was 98 and it was on the black. Gets the call from the home plate umpire, and that's now 2 outs here in the 8th. Jim Edmonds still stapled to first base. Caminiti comes up next. We've yet to see a Caminiti highlight end well for the Caminiti team. We'll see if this can prove to be the exception. 0-2 count on him. Page comes set, delivers. Grounder on over to Jackie at second. Fields it, throws on over to Rose. And that is going to do it for the Macarenas here in the 8th. So moving to the 9th, the Otters still protecting that 1-run lead. Bottom 9, so the Otters do not add to it. They will now head to the bottom of the 9th with an opportunity to be perfect league champions, to be the first person of the PT 22 game cycle to have a trophy made out in their honor, to be the first person sitting atop the fully constructed ladder. And they have that chance right now. They are going to give it to Satchel Paige. That is who they are trusting to give them that honor. And they'll have to go through Tim McCarver, Dave Bancroft, and Jackie Robinson. Maybe we see a pinch hitter for Bancroft in there. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby. Tim McCarver time. Page winds in, delivers. McCarver, grounder up the middle, a diving stop. Unable to corral it is Jackie Robinson. We'll call this an infield single, and the fans love it. Jackie Robinson ranging to his right, able to get a glove on it, but not cleanly enough to transition it over to his free hand and throw on over to first. So Tim McCarver, not so fleet of foot, ends up with an infield single and now represents the tying run in the most important game of the San Antonio Macarenas season. McCarver will not be pinch ran for, and Bancroft will not be pinch hit for. So McCarver on first, Bancroft at the plate. 1-2 count. Fans on their feet, the pitch. Strike 3 called. Bancroft didn't like it, but that was a curveball that caught the outside corner. And now there's one away in this Macarena's 9th inning. Jackie Robinson to the dish. One away. The pitch. Ground to the mound. Fielded by the pitcher. Oh no! An error by Jackie Robinson at second base. The error will actually go to Satchel Paige as the throw was errant. Jackie Robinson unable to handle it. And now the Macarenas have 2 aboard. 2 aboard in this inning without so much as one decent hit. We have an infield hit for Tim McCarver. We have a ground ball to the pitcher and an errant throw to second base. Satchel Paige had the play at first, easy, but he turns and fires to second and may end up ruining the day. Pete Rose to the plate. Game on the line, series on the line. Tying run at second, winning run at first. Perfect League World Series title up for grabs. The pitch. Fly ball right field, well hit, but playable. Running over a Slaughter, he'll make the grab. Now Tim McCarver, despite not being fleet of foot, does tag. He'll end up at third base. And so now the Macarena's tying run a short 90 feet away as this game, this season, and this series will come down to Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman versus Satchel Paige. We'll set up the matchup analyzer for you. You see it on your screen now. The weight of the world on Mr. Freeman's shoulders. Can he come through for the Macarenas? 2-2 count. The Otters 1 strike away from being perfect league champions and the king of the perfect team ladder for the season 2031. Page comes set. The pitch. Strike 3 called! And that's going to do it! The Otters have won! The Otters have won! They are your 2031 Perfect League World Series champions. They interpretively dance out in front of home plate. They have won 3 consecutive 1-run games on the road here in San Antonio. And we'll get to start parade planning as they celebrate in the clubhouse here today. We'll get some fireworks for them. Some road fireworks. Okay, Autopilot in the chat. Congratulations to you. You are our first champion of PT22, and you did so in high dramatic fashion to the enjoyment of those watching here tonight. Let's look at the series. So, I mean, it goes without saying that this series was unbelievably close. 4-3 game 1, 5-3 game 2. 5-3 proved to be our biggest margin of victory. And then we have the craziness that was game 3, the absolute insanity that was game 4, and then a super tight 3-2 game 5. Observatory Park wins 4 games by a grand run differential of 4 runs. Every single one of their wins was a 1-run victory. I don't know if we've seen that. I don't recall seeing that last year, where all 4 wins were 1-run victories. Unbelievable series. Let's get a round of applause for both. We'll update our score bug so that we can see the Otters are our champions. Now the good news. What's the good news for the Macarenas? The good news is that they get the chance to come right back next week and try to do it again. This was a punch to the gut. This series, the way it played out, the way Game 3 and Game 4 went, Bill Campbell on the mound with a chance to go up 2-1, and he biffs it. Bill Campbell on the mound with a chance to tie the series 2-2, and he biffs it. But all told, they still get to come back to Perfect League next week, because the way that relegation works is the top 8 teams this week get to hang around, and the bottom 16 go back to Diamond. You can see it on your screen now. Otters and Macarenas, top 2 on the list. They will be joined by Detroit Fury, Murray Punishers, Pigeontown Pigeons, Virginia Hunters, Budapest Red Devils, Ben Salem Man Witches, and then the champion of every Diamond League this week. So I see people in the chat saying playoff teams stay up, and that is true in a typical week. That is not true this week. So there were 10 playoff teams this week for a 24-team Perfect League. Only the top 8 get to stick around. And so the Susquehanna Sonics, the Las Vegas White Tigers, not able to move on despite the fact that they made the playoffs. So here's your final Perfect League playoff tree. Again, it looks different than most weeks. Most weeks we've got an entirely full page here, 4 full rounds of best of 7 series. And this week, because it's a short week, a short league, it looks more like a traditional league. Looks more like a normal Diamond League. But congratulations to the Otters. You will forever be the first Perfect League champion of PT22. But do know that the relegation Puma will get you. It might not be next week. It might not be the week after. Might not even be the week after that. But the relegation Puma, just like Father Time, is undefeated, and he comes for us all. But good luck to all my playoff teams coming back next week. Hopefully, it will be you that finds yourself featured on this stream. Perhaps it will be some of the new Diamond League champions working their way up. But either way, we will have a great opportunity to crown another champion next week, and hopefully we get the same amount of high drama that the Observatory Park Otters and the San Antonio Macarenas treated us to tonight. So with that, we'll go ahead and conclude our coverage for the 2031 Perfect League World Series. I thank you for joining us. I hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast, and I hope you will make a regular occurrence of joining me each and every Sunday night as we determine who is the king for the week, the king of the hill, if you will, of the PT ladder. So with that, I've been your host, DRC. I will be signing off until next Sunday. Thank you.